My name is Josh, and this is my Jeep.
If your rotor is really rusted on, WD-40 and a large hammer are going to be your best friend. I started out by spraying WD-40 everywhere possible, so in the lug nut holes as well as behind the rotor to get back onto the surface. Now once the air is WD-40 and you let it soak in for a few minutes, you're going to want to use a large hammer. Now I was using a 4-pound hammer. You can use a bigger one, but I wouldn't suggest going smaller. I had originally worked with a 20-ounce hammer that you'd use for normal woodwork and construction work, and that got me nowhere. If you're trying to resurface the rotor, do not use a large hammer. You'll have to use a rubber mallet because using this large hammer created dents. And my plan was to replace it with a whole new rotor, so I didn't care what happened to this current rusted old rotor. Now you'll see that I'm wearing ear protection. With a small space and hitting metal on metal, it creates a loud pinging noise. For my personal preference, I didn't like it, and as you can hear, it is quite loud. So you'll want to be hitting at all angles. Now I was using a spot on the rear that wasn't covered by the dust shield, and this was allowing me to be able to hit it. And I also was rotating where I was hitting to that way try to torque and get as many spots as possible to hopefully break off the bond between from the rust between the old rotor and the rest of the vehicle. Now when you're hitting it, you want to make sure to be careful not to hit the lug nuts. Hitting that can break the thread, and that means you may need to replace it in order to reattach your wheel. I ended up spending about 15 minutes whacking this wheel until finally it broke. And once I was able to break the seal, all was good and I was able to put on a new rotor. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and share with your friends.